Preecy, you join us a Wednesday afternoon, busy as usual here today at Bamber Bridge for a big game for the BTEC team, but matters first, most important, our first team big game on Saturday at Rushall Olympic. How are things going at the moment?
Yeah, just about recovering, seeing how the lads were after the weekend's games. Real tough game at Buxton on a 4G, and that always takes longer to recover from. And then Monday, although it looked comfortable, we had to work really hard to get that result. So there is tired legs, and we'll have to do a lot on Thursday, helping them with their recovery, on top of trying to prepare for what will be a difficult game. But obviously we're in a better place than what we were going into those two games, because there's only one game to go and we know what we need to do. Still so much to play for, so many twists and turns, lots and lots of things can happen. We could be at home, we could be away, we could be out of the playoffs, but we're in it, and that's the most important thing, that we're in with a real good chance after 45 games in a really difficult league. It's a great position to be in, but now we want to try and finish it off if we can, and if we do, there'll be an unbelievable achievement for us. So we're up, fired up for it, and looking forward to the challenge on Saturday.
A few people will have been crunching the numbers, speculating whether a point will be enough, but no doubt you'll be going into the game thinking, look, 3 points, let's make sure of it and hope for a home tie.
100%. We need to win the game. We win the game, like you said, there's always a chance of a home tie if Kings Lynn did slip up. Look, we've just got to focus on ourselves and try and go to Rushall and win that game, and that really should take care of it. It's mad when you think you go through a whole season and it's going to come down to 90 minutes of football, but you'd settle for that. We would have settled for that at the start of the season, and we've earned that right. And now, like I say, it's up for us to go there and take it.
A few fans will be pondering, I guess, whether to make the journey over to Rushall, a couple of hours at best. Do you have a message for those who are probably considering making the journey down?
They've been the difference. Been the difference at home. They've been the difference away in games that we've won. You think of the Kidderminster, think of Spennymoor. The support we had at those two games is probably more than what we'd normally get. We need the same at Rushall. Anybody who's thinking, we'll wait for the playoffs, there might be no playoffs. We need that support. We need it behind us. They keep the lads going and push us on in those hard moments. Look, we're grateful for anybody coming. We know difficult financially, they're travelling, but this is so important to us, and the more numbers we get, the more chance we've got of winning the game. So I'd appeal for them to try and get there if they can. I know the club's subsidising any transport, so if you're not sure, then ring up the club and find out what opportunities there are, and what sort of cost it will be.
Just thinking in terms of our home record this season, nice to finish off with a flourish. Statistically second best in the league with the second most goals scored, and that also replicates the exact same record to an extent from the season before, where we were the third best to Scunthorpe and Tamworth, with again the second most goals scored. And fingers crossed, should we get into the playoffs and a home draw, it might be a different story.
Well, a home draw, our home draw form's been unbelievable. Like you say, those stats, we're only behind Scunthorpe with our home form. That speaks for itself. And goal scores, exactly the same. And you know, people have questioned obviously strike. You know, do we need a striker? You have a look at, you know, we've got the highest scoring centre back in the league in Mark Ellis. We've got the highest scoring central midfielder in Mike Calverley. We've got Tom Carr now in double figures, Cole just short of double figures on 8. And remember, he's missed a good chunk of the season. Mo Torres, you know, chipped in with 7 or 8 as well. So we've done really well again to score that amount of goals, and finding out now goal scorers in this league is difficult, and anyone that is, it costs a lot of money. You know, Blackett, people like that are on ridiculous money. Roberts and Whitehall and people like that. You know, that you can't, you know, we can't go out and get those sort of players. So you've got to be creative, and we've done that. We've done really well with the lads that we've brought in. Got to be delighted with how all 3 of them are done, and they'll only get better, and they'll only improve, and we'll only improve with them. So lots to be happy about. You know, we've had a great season, but you know, we want to finish it off and make it an exceptional one on Saturday.
One I can't go without mentioning as well, I know you're not one really for singling out players, but Blake's aging a bit like a fine wine. 22 assists for the season. You know, he's missed maybe 2 or 3 months of the season. It just goes to show the impact that he has. And some of these players, they've been with us a long time, you know, like Matty, you know, Scott Wilson, over 100 appearances now. Henners has had the most games he's ever played in a season in his career. These players, some of them are having the best seasons they've ever had in their careers.
Yeah, and you know, that's something that's you know, happens at this club, that the players have their best seasons here, because you know, we've got a great dressing room first, but you know, we look, and when we bring players in, you know, we're looking to play to this, you know, to their strengths, and allow them to develop and flourish. You know, and we've seen that over the years with lads. But going back to Blakey, you know, 22 assists. He's missed a lot of games, like Cole Orr. He's missed a lot of games. Ello, you know, how many goals would he have this season? You know, and that partnership with Ello and Blakey, you know, how many goals that they've created together. So, you know, they're incredible stats, considering the amount of games that they've missed as well. So, yeah, look, we've got a great group of players. You can go through every single one within that squad, and they've all been outstanding. You know, Henners has played more games than he's ever played in his career. You know, and again, going into his 30s. Again, you know, that's credit to the staff and how we look after players, that he's doing at the back end of his career. So, you know, you can go on and on about the loans, and you know how we've helped lads. You know, Christie now is getting into the team regular at Blackburn. Look, there's so many really good things that happened, but you know, we've hopefully still got a long way to go, and hopefully there's some big things to talk about coming, you know, in the next few days. And it starts on Saturday. You know, we'll be ready, and it's going to be a real tough task. So going back, we'll need all the support that we can, and the following could be the difference.